Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is Wednesday Weekly Gold episode 42. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so for this week I will be breaking down the depleted Kyparium rocket. Now this is a mount in WoD and this is learnt through engineering, and this one is relatively easy to do. It's far easier to create than the world spinner by far. Mainly for the fact you don't have to worry about all the different types of insane amounts of transmutes and all that jazz, and it's just quite straightforward. So that being the case, let's get into the materials. Okay, so the materials that you're going to be wanting to need for the depleted Kyparium rocket is 12 living steel, 200 Kyparium, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, and then 3 mysterious orbs, 12 high explosive gunpowder, 12 spirits of harmony, and 20 ghost iron bolts. Now this can be done relatively easy, and I would say the only thing that will be a bit of a hindrance to you is the 60,000 gold worth of investment for the mysterious orbs from Big Keech in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. That is probably going to be the hardest part for you to do, parting with all that gold to invest in selling one of these mounts. But that being the case, let's get into the raw materials. The raw materials go by like this. That you are going to want to need 756 ghost iron bars. You will need 200 Kyparium. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right for the second time. And 12 spirits of harmony. The rest of them are rather easy to do. You will either need for your living steel around about 72 trillion bars, and this can be created through an alchemist which does not have a cooldown. You can use the transmute for ghost iron bars, 2 trillion bars, and that will create your trillion bars for you. You will need 72 of course, because you will be transmuting the living steel. Now this does vary depending on what you want to do to create this. If you're going to be doing the living steel daily craft, then you're going to need 72 of these. But if you need the living steel in a massive hurry to create this mount because you just want to mass produce it, then you are going to be wanting to obtain 36 trillion bars through the transmute and 36 spirits of harmony. This is more costly, but it actually produces the mounts on a fairly fast basis and will produce you the mounts you need. Now obviously creating the living steel is the most time consuming, so I usually I would recommend just having 4 alchemists at Zen Alchemy, which is not hard to do on many alts above level 90. Now what you're going to be wanting to do with that is have 4 of them and craft the daily craft every single day, which will be every 3 days you can create a Kyparium rocket, or depleted Kyparium rocket for instance. But that being said, that is the hardest part of it all, just figuring out what you want to do with your living steel to create this mount. The Kyparium can be farmed up, but I prefer to just buy it straight off of the auction house, as it is one of those ones where it's really easy to get hold of, so you might as well just buy it off the auction house. But if you did want to just farm up the raw materials, you can just go to the Dread Wastes, and they have tons of them against the wall. Just go along the wall of the Dread Wastes and you will get a load of Kyparium ore. But that being said, the high explosive gunpowder and the ghost iron bolts are relatively easy to farm up, along with all of the 756 ghost iron bars you will need. You can farm this up in the Valley of the Four Winds in Pandaria, and that's such as the Dread Wastes. It is mainly just going along the outside of the zone in order to pick up these materials or ore. But lastly, you will need 12 spirits of harmony, or if you're actually looking for, or if you're going with the riddle steel for the day to create this mount, then you will need 48 spirits of harmony or 12 spirits of harmony, give or take whether you do the riddle steel or not. The way on which you farm up Spirits of Harmony, you can use the Heart of Fear farming instance for Spirits of Harmony. I have recommended Mogashon Vaults in the past as well, but these two farms pretty much are relatively good either side, depending on which one you want to actually farm. The amount of I really just go with the Mogashon Vaults because I seem to get nicer bits of transmog which I can sell on the auction house. So if you want a little bit of an additional gold over time, then farm up the Mogashon Vaults. Now all in all, creating the Depleted Kyparium rocket is fairly easy to do. You will need to have your Goblin Engineering in order to learn this mount, and with the Gyroscopic World Spinner you will need to know Gnomish Engineering. This is fairly easy to do. All you have to do is a really short mini quest, which is pretty much just run to the auction house and buy all the stuff you need. It's probably there. And then you're given those materials and you learn that form of engineering in order to make your mounts. Now obviously the Depleted Kyparium rocket sells for around about 141,000 gold according to Wowhead, but if we check on Wowhead, it's usually around about 100,000 gold, give or take, the same as the World Spinner. These can be actually farmed up relatively easy, and you're looking at a nice tidy sum of gold when you're actually selling this mount. As long as you farm up the materials, it seems to be the most profitable way. There are other ways of just buying the materials off of the auction house and crafting them out and just selling it, but your profits would be severely low, so I would double check your TSM crafting to make sure that you're actually going to make some profit on this mount, as it is quite a lot of gold to be invested in one mount. As a 60,000 gold investment, raw gold investment on your mount, then I would suggest that you actually double check and recheck before you actually make this mount and try and make a profit. But this goes for the Gyroscopic World Spinner as well. That being the case, guys, I hope that you like the breakdown for this week. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video on Friday. Have a lovely rest of the day, and now I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more like this, please feel free to give this video a like, and as always, have an awesome day, guys.
Yeah.